Hello, I'm Don, your mechanic for your way. We're going to go through a truck inspection today. We're going to start off with checking lights, and Jack's going to be my guinea pig for the rear, checking, make sure I got tail lights and reverse lights since I don't have a mirror or a wall out here. Do I have front lights?
You have low beams. High beams?
Okay. We'll check the turn signals while you're right there.
That's funny. No turn signals. You have cautions on or turn signal?
Just turn signals.
Oh, I have left turn. I have cautions. No turn signals. Okay. Let's see if they work in the back. Either of them on?
No, I got nothing on other than running.
All right. Running lights work?
I got nothing.
Huh?
I don't even got the clicker on the dash.
Okay.
Brakes?
Brakes work.
Reverse?
Reverse lights work. Awesome. So, at this point, because we've noted there's an issue with the truck, we have no turn signals. We're going to note that down on our truck inspection sheet. So, when you're doing this, if there's ever an issue, as far as turn signals don't work, or if you're low on fluid or anything, you can take it right to Don, our mechanic, and inform them that of the issue, and they will take care of it for you right there and then. So, right here on our inspection form here, it'll have notes. So we're going to note no turn signals. So we'll also put our date down. For me, it is 3/21/25. And the form is going to be completed by Jack/Don. Signals checked, not working. Lights work. Brake, trailer brakes not connected. So they're not applicable. So not applicable. If you were to check whether your trailer lights are working, you'll obviously have to have your trailer plug plugged into the truck plug, which is right here, as well as when you hook up your trailer, you'll also have your emergency brake. To check brakes on trailers, there is, does this truck have it? Nope. All right, to check brakes on trailers, there is gain. There are two paddles that you press. You squeeze the paddles, you let your foot off with the truck on, you put the truck in drive, you hold the two paddles inside on the brake controller, and you slowly let off your truck brakes while you're in drive. As long as the two paddles are compressed, the truck won't move forward because your trailer brakes are working, not your truck. But Don will go ahead and move on to fluid since everything else is currently working.
We're going to pull the hood and release handle, which is down by your emergency brake on all of our trucks here. Open your hood. You got your coolant level here. It's at the min, max. It's good to go. brake fluid above the max, you're good to go there. Engine oil.
Let's slow down for a second. Can we cut this part of the video out real quick?
We're going to look at our coolant reservoir. You're going to find your mid and your max levels. This one's at bare minimum, which could be needed added. All of our coolant reservoirs on our V10 trucks are right here. Then you're going to, right next to it is your brake fluid reservoir. You got your minimum, and your maximum is right in the middle, so that one's good to go. You got your power steering fluid here. That one needs added because it's below the hash mark on the minimum. We're gonna add that to our inspection form. Then you would let me know that in the garage before you took off, and we'd get it taken care of. Then we're gonna move over to your oil dipstick, which is right here on this specific truck. I don't know if they move around on our trucks. You're gonna wipe it off and you're gonna double check it. Always double check. There you're gonna see your maximum line up here and your midline right here. Has a little fold, but it hasn't been ran. Then we'll move over to the transmission dipstick, which is right here, but you also need the vehicle running to check that. If Jack would be a good Jack and turn the truck on, I'd appreciate it. Same with your engine oil. You're going to pull it out, wipe it clean. And it should have a pink or red tint to it. You got your max line right there and your midline right there. You're good to go on this one. And that concludes your fluid checks on the trucks. Next thing you do, shut the hood, make sure she latches, go to work.
All right, so part of our regular truck inspection is also to make sure that we check our tires. So I don't expect that every week, or I don't expect every time you come out to a truck and you go to hop into it to drive, that you're getting out the tire gauge, unscrewing the cap here, putting the tire gauge on to check for the accurate amount of pressure. What I do expect is that we visually inspect all of our tires to make sure they seem to have the proper amount of air and they're inflated. So I'll go around to each tire, making sure they do not look low at all. This tire, there's no bulging down here at the bottom. If the tires are low, there's going to be a slight bulge and it'll look different than the top part of the tire. Since there's no bulge here, this tire visually inspects okay. Go to the back tire, repeat the same process. No bulge on the back tire of the driver's side, so we're good to go. We'll walk around again, check the back tire of the passenger side. No bulge. When I'm doing my tire inspection, I notice that we're missing a tire cap. So I'm going to note that down on my inspection sheet. Now we'll move to our front passenger side tire. Do a visual inspection. We seem to have proper inflation in the front passenger side. So I will mark on our truck inspection sheet, our tires have been visually inspected. So I'll just write visually inspected. put a check mark. Other things that I'm looking for while I'm walking around checking tires, just making sure that we're not missing any lug nuts. Seems that all of them are installed properly, so we're all good on that. So the final thing that we will do on a vehicle is we will do a once around vehicle inspection, looking for any dings or scratches in the metal of the truck body. For example, the tailgate. Put a note on my notes section here. I'll say dented tailgate. Walk around the rest of the truck. Some mild dings and scratches. I'll note those as well. Mild scratching. Driver's side bed. Walk around the truck all the way around. The front of the truck looks to be in pretty good shape. So that'll complete the visual inspection of the truck. We're also going to check, make sure the windshields are good. No cracks or scratches in the windshield or windows. So that would conclude your visual inspection. So on the other section of our truck inspection form is an equipment inspection form as well. So the reason why we want to make sure we do equipment inspections, it prevents downtime. It'll help alert us to know if there's any maintenance needs. So the first couple things that I'm going to look for before I even turn on the machine, I'm going to check oil first, and then check my fuel level, and then I'm going to check the hydraulic fluid level. Not every single mower in our fleet has hydraulic fluid. We do have one mower that is belt driven, but the rest of them all have hydraulic fluid. So the first thing I'm checking, I'm going to check the oil. Over here you have your hydraulic fluid filter. So I'm going to check my hydraulic fluid, or I'm going to check the oil, the engine oil in this machine first. Pull it out. Should have a paper towel, but you wipe it off. Dip it down in there again. I typically count to 3. Pull it out, visually inspect. This mower, as you can see, is low on oil. This is why we do our visual inspection before we even start the machines. So, we've inspected the oil. We need to add oil. The next thing I'm going to check is our hydraulic fluid. This is another visual inspection. There is a gauge on the multi-forces right in the front. Here is your hydraulic fluid level. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the camera, but it is going to be slightly darker if there's fluid where there is versus where there's no fluid. We're right in the middle, so we're in good shape. Next thing I'll check is our air filters. On the Kohler engines, which is what's on our multi-forces, there's just these 2 clips. The way you undo the 2 clips, you just flip these up and they pop right out. Pull these back. Pull the first filter off. Look in and see, hey, I got a little bit of leaves covering, not horrible. So we might want to replace this in the next 2 months, but this visually inspects fine. This filter is the larger filter. It's going to pick out all of the big debris. You have a second filter inside of the larger filter. This is a finer filter. This is going to have all of the really small dust. So just do a visual inspection on this. These filters are supposed to be either blue or white. If you see them starting to go black or gray, it's time for them to be changed. But as there's more blue on this filter than there is gray or black, this filter also inspects fine. To put it back, you just have to line up this filter directly in the center of the housing and push it in. You'll feel it seat. Do the same thing with the second filter over the top of it. Push it in, you'll feel it seat. To put these back on, you'll have to see on the housing, there's a spot where there's a little opening in the plastic. That is where these retaining clips go. So you want to get it lined up the best you can. Slide the exterior part of the housing back on. It'll seat well. Put your first clip on. Twist it a little bit. First clip is on. Now I'll do the underclip. All right. Now, before I even start this mower, I noted that the oil level was low. I'm going to grab oil and add the proper amount of oil till I reach the max fill line. We can stop the video for here. All right. We have re-added fluid, added oil because we were low. So I'm going to pull it out again, wipe it off, put it back down in, pull it out. We are now within spec. We are actually just at the full line. So, put it back in. All of our fluids are checked. I now feel comfortable to start the mower. So, I will start our machine. You might want to get on this side. With the Toros have an automatic choke, so they are the easiest to start of all of our equipment. You just turn the key. Our mower engine is idling perfectly fine, so I feel in really good shape. The first thing I like to do when I turn the mower on is just give it about 30 or so seconds to warm up before I start moving it. This way it allows the engine to warm up before you start putting a load on. Now I will slowly start to throttle it up, make sure it runs at high RPM fine. Check. I will turn on the blades while it is at a low idle to make sure that the blades in the mower deck are working properly. To turn the blades on all of our machines, you have to take the parking brake off, push these handles down, and press the yellow button for the blades. Hard rattles or hear any bangs or clangs. So I'll slowly start to increase the throttle to make sure we're in good shape. All right.